All season long, fans can celebrate unbelievable performances by voting for the Pepsi Next Rookie of the Week at NFL.com/rookies. And we've talked to some of those rookies, E.J. Manuel, Tavon Austin, Geno Smith, and our next guest, Giovani Bernard, the Bengals rookie running back. Can you clear up something for me here? Giovani, can you clear? Okay. The minivan that you drove was not yours, right?
No, it was not.
Okay. We had A.J. Green on last week, and he said that you've upgraded because you took so much abuse because you were driving a minivan.
Yeah, the guys were giving me hell about it.
There's nothing wrong with a minivan.
Oh, believe me, there was nothing wrong. That's why I was driving it.
Maybe that should be your nickname, minivan.
I don't know if I'm that big. I'm a little bit more of a smaller guy, so what about a Fiat 300?
Oh, Fiat. Okay. But what'd you upgrade to?
I upgraded to a BMW. I was able to find a cheaper one, definitely in my price range.
In your rookie price range?
And yes, which I'm a stingy guy. I've always been a very frugal, stingy kind of guy. I've been very, conservative about my money, and so I decided to give myself a present, I guess.
Rookies have to pay for dinner during training camp?
Yes. I've bought breakfast. We had a breakfast dinner. We've had a running back dinner, and I'm sure there's more to come, so I'm just holding on to my money.
What's the biggest tab so far? How much?
Biggest tab was so far we had a breakfast, which was $800, and I spent over $100 on candy for the running backs, and then what else? There was one more thing, I can't remember what it was, but I had to get for the team, so it's coming out.
Give me your official height and weight.
Official height, I say I'm 5'11", 6 foot.
No, come on. Official height here, 5'11"?
No, I'm 5'8". I'm 5'8" and a half. I'm 205 as well.
How much does that, it's one of those things where people probably doubted you for many, I don't know, high school, college, but how does that make you a better football player?
Yeah, I mean, there's always doubts and, whatnot when somebody gets a draft pick, whatever it is, there's always doubts. So for me, I've always had doubts about my height and about my weight and about my speed all throughout my life. And, I just use all that kind of stuff as motivation for me. It's really an advantage, really. I mean, you got linebackers at, 6'1", 6'2", you got linemen like Andrew Whitworth, he's probably like 6'7", I feel like. So it's tough to see me in the backfield. So I'm able, to find little holes and creases, and it definitely comes in my help.
How much thinking goes on during an actual play that you're running?
As a running back, unless if it's a pass scheme or whatnot, there's not much thinking at all. Running the ball it's a kind of like a feel out position. You have to just know, obviously where you got to go, where the ball's going, but there's so much happening in front of your eyes. You have to feel. You have to feel the presence of somebody, going too far into a gap, which opens up a backside gap. If a person, is sitting in the hole, you got to, know that, hey, I can't go in that hole. I got to bounce it or whatever. So, playing the running back position, it's a lot more of a feel out type position.
Who's your idol?
My idol, my brother. I don't have an NFL, idol. I think, my brother is definitely one of the guys, I've always looked up to. A guy that, that's played in the NFL for a season or two and then played in the Canadian Football League. So I don't have to look very far for an idol. So, yeah.
You didn't have a style that you admired with the running back growing up?
You always had your Barry Sanders. That was, there's not much like him. He's one of a kind. But one of the things that I don't try to imitate my game like him, or after him. I just try to play my own. But it's something that I always love watching. Just how he can lose so much ground, but still, come up with 200-yard game or whatever it is. So.
Talking to Giovani Bernard, the Bengals running back, joining us, Dan Patrick Show. That Green Bay game, I couldn't figure it out. And I'm just watching. You were playing in it. Have you been in a game like that before?
No, and after the game, I was talking with some of the guys on the team, and I said that was easily the most fun I've ever had in the game before. Whether we were down or up, there are so much highs and lows to that game, and that doesn't really happen that often in a game. I mean, especially where I come from, and if we're losing, we're gonna lose. We're gonna lose. If we're winning, we're gonna win. It's kind of like that. It's very black and white. But a game like that where we turn the ball over 4 or 5 times. And in playing against Aaron Rodgers, playing against a great defense that has guys across the board that are well known, and to still be able to come out to win. I mean, it means the world to us.
Who was chirping on the Packers defense?
BJ, is his name BJ Raji? I think the big center, big nose guard. He was talking.
What did he say?
There was one time where I got clogged up in the hole, and as a D lineman, if you're held up, they're going to come and take your feet underneath you and just literally lift you up so you can't move. And he did that, and he just started talking trash. I just smiled at him, and because he's huge, absolutely huge. He's definitely like just a guy that just takes up space, but he's a great football player. Taking no credit away from him, but he's definitely a talker.
Clay Matthews say anything?
Nah, he was. I mean, he was pretty quiet. And then I think it was his name, AJ Hawk.
Yeah.
He was a cool dude. He had to cover me on a couple of passing routes, and he tried to take a couple of cheap shots at me. But he's definitely a good guy. I was one of the guys that I definitely had to go up against a lot in that game, and he was definitely talking.
Wait. He's a good guy, but he took a couple cheap shots.
Yeah, I mean, it's just part of the game. They're going to try to do that. Because he knew that he couldn't keep up with me the whole game, so he had to, try to, limit me on some plays. And if I wasn't getting the ball, he'd, try to take a shot at me, but I'd see it coming. So.
What's off limits, though?
As in?
A cheap shot.
So there was one time where I was running out to a passing route, and Andy threw it, the total opposite way. And, I mean, we both saw the ball being thrown, and he tried to, just kind of shove me a little bit. But it's just how it is. That's just football. And I just went back to him and said that's why. It was on one of the passing plays where Andy was able to get a touchdown to Marvin Jones. It was on that one, and I told him that's why it happened, because he tried to do that. So.
What about in the pile? Anything? Things going on?
No, not really. I didn't really get caught up in too many piles. I try to run away from those.
Yeah. Well, there's grabbing that goes on in the pile.
Yeah, there's stuff that happens in the piles that people do not know about, and we'll keep that confidential.
But you seem like are you an NFL fan, or you just play in the NFL?
I'm a little bit of both. I love the game. I love the opportunity to even be a part of this league. But as for me, I know what I have to do. I know this is a job for me. I know this is what pays the bills and whatnot. And I know I have to take this game seriously, and not just as a fan. So there's a little bit of both. But for me, I just have to go out there and just do what I can to help the team win. Really. What
was your major in college?
Exercise sports science.
Really? What do you want to do with that?
Well, after, being a football player, you learn a lot about your body, and you learn a lot about, what's good about it, and, things that, you could do to help your body and stay in the game for longer. So, for me, whether it's, being a strength coach or, just working in the PT office, one of those two things, there's something that I would admire, because, one, it not only keep me, in a way, a part of the game, is something that I've always been a part of already. So I have, a pretty good knowledge of it, so.
Well, it's good to visit with you, and sounds like you got a lot going on for you, and it's been a good start for you as well. Congrats on the success so far, and good luck with the Pepsi promotion you're working on.
Definitely. Thank you very much.
All right. Giovani Bernard, Pepsi Next Rookie of the Week at NFL.com/rookies. A good kid. And telling stories, too. I always like that. I like how A.J. Hawk, good dude, but took some cheap shots. I don't know. I guess all in a day's work, right?
The Dan Patrick Show, weekday mornings on Audience.